All right, let's get right into it. Forget about talent, forget about market conditions for a second. Today we're talking about the one weapon, the one asset that nobody can ever take from you. And that's a commanded mind. This is all about building the ultimate competitive advantage. It's the very foundation of dominance.
And this right here, this is the core truth we have to start with. Every single elite outcome, every deal you close, every company you build, every win you score, it was won or lost up here, in your mind, long before it ever happened out there. The market, the world, that's just the scoreboard. The game is played and won internally.
So here's our game plan for this session. First, we're going to reframe how you see your mind, not as some passive observer, but as your number one weapon. Then, we'll get into the architecture of thought itself. After that, we'll install a practical, daily operating system. I call it the 4 mental gates. And finally, we'll give you a 90-day field assignment to make this whole thing your new reality.
Okay, section 1. Let's nail down a new operating principle right now. Your mind is not some passive tool you use to just observe the world. No way. From now on, it's an active weapon. It's the tool you use to command your environment and bend it to your will.
You know, this describes the default state for almost everyone out there. They're just drifting. They're reacting to emails, reacting to news, reacting to other people's agendas. They are being moved by their circumstances instead of moving them. The entire point of what we're doing here today is to put a full stop to that drift, permanently.
So let's get real for a second. I want you to actually think about this. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much is your mind truly working for you versus against you? Is it your most trusted ally, a disciplined soldier executing your mission? Or, be honest, is it an enemy combatant inside your own head, feeding you doubt, distraction, and fear? Where do you really land on that scale? All right, section 2. This is where we get into the mechanics of it all. The fundamental principle is incredibly simple, but it's also profound. Your thoughts are not just random clouds floating by. They are the literal blueprints. They are the architects of your physical reality.
And look, it's a clear chain of command. It all starts with a single thought. You repeat that thought, you give it energy and belief, and boom, it becomes a habit. You run that habit on loop day in and day out, and it solidifies into your character. That's who you actually are. And your character? Well, your character writes your destiny. It determines everything, your income, your relationships, your impact.
This is so critical, we have to hit it again. Listen, there is no such thing as just a thought. Every single one is a seed, and you are the one deciding what you plant. Are you planting seeds of victory, of discipline, of excellence, or are you planting seeds of failure? It's a direct line of cause and effect, and it all starts with what you allow to take root in your mind.
Now check this out, because this is the trap. Even for people who are crushing it, the so-called high performers, a staggering 70% of their daily thinking is running on autopilot. Just think about that. For more than 2/3 of your day, your mind is probably just reacting to a notification, to a market dip, to someone else's bad mood. And reactive thinking can only ever produce reactive results. It is the absolute enemy of dominance.
So here it is. This is the choice, laid out plain and simple. On one side, you have the undisciplined mind. It's reactive. It drifts wherever the wind blows, and it allows weakness, fear, doubt, excuses to set up camp and live rent-free. But on the other side, you have the disciplined mind. It is deliberate. It is focused. And this is the most important part. It chains itself to a mission. It chooses what it thinks about on purpose.
I want you to use this metaphor because it's not just poetry. It's technically accurate. Your mind is a garden. The media you consume, the podcasts you listen to, the people you talk to, the ideas you entertain, you are actively planting seeds all day long. And here's the thing, you will get a harvest. The only question is, are you consciously cultivating a garden of excellence, or are you letting weeds of mediocrity take over?
Okay, another gut check question for you. If we did a complete audit of your mental diet for the last 7 days, every show you watched, every social media feed you scrolled, every conversation you had, what would that list reveal about the future you're currently building? Would it look like the diet of a champion? Or would it perfectly explain why you're getting the exact results you're getting? Remember, the inputs always program the output.
Okay, let's get tactical. We understand the why now, so let's install the how. This is a practical, repeatable, daily system for taking command. We call it the 4 mental gates.
Gate number 1 is awareness. It's simple. You cannot control what you do not see. This is the discipline of becoming a neutral observer of your own mind.
You're in a tough negotiation, a high-stakes meeting. What thought just flashed through your head? I'm not prepared for this. They're not going to buy. You have to see it, to catch it in real time before you can do anything about it.
Once you see the thought, you immediately challenge it at gate number 2, filtering. Think of this like a ruthless bouncer at the door of your mind. And there's only one question on the checklist. Does this thought serve my mission, or does it undermine it? That's it. A thought of self-doubt? It undermines the mission. Access denied. A thought of fear? Undermines the mission. Get out of here.
Now, you can't just leave a void. The mind hates a vacuum. That brings us to gate 3, replacement. The moment you deny entry to a weak thought, you must immediately and deliberately replace it. And not with some fluffy, vague positivity. No, you replace it with a specific, strategic, action-oriented thought. So instead of, I hope this works, you replace it with, I will execute the next step of the plan. You command, you don't wish.
And finally, gate 4. This is what turns this from a one-time trick into a compounding habit that forges an unbreakable mind. Reinforcement. Every morning, before the noise of the world gets to you, you set your dominant thought for the day. You set your mental state on purpose. And every night, you do a quick review of the mental battlefield. Where did I win? Where did a weak thought slip through? This daily bookend practice is the absolute game changer.
Which brings us to our last section. Look, this isn't just interesting theory. This is a call to action. This is your field assignment. This is how you take everything we just talked about, from a concept in your head to a new reality in your life, starting now for the next 90 days.
So here are your orders. Number 1, morning command. For the first 5 minutes of every single day, before you touch your phone, you will declare your primary mission for the day. Command your mind before the world tries to. Number 2, thought journal. For the next 7 days, you're going to capture every single fear or doubt-based thought on paper and write its powerful, dominant replacement right next to it. And 3, input audit. Find one, just one, source of mental garbage in your life, a news feed, a toxic person, a show, and eliminate it. This week.
I'll leave you with this one final question to think about. You are ruthless with your calendar, right? You guard every 30-minute block like it's a fortress. What would happen, what would actually change in your business, in your life, in 90 days if you started guarding your mind with that same exact non-negotiable rigor? That's the power we're talking about. That's the power you can unlock starting today.